Okay, so everybody just relax. Let the day go. Let it roll off your body. Relax your head and your hair and your jaw, your neck, your tongue, your shoulders, and your arms, and your chest, and your back. Relax your lower back. Allow your stomach to hang out. Take some deep breaths. Relax your bottom, your thighs, your calves, your arms, your hands and your feet. Let's imagine our heart space or our heart chakra, however you want to imagine that, opening up wide. Picture that however you want to. Let's send a cord of light from that space down through our body, down through the ground, down into the earth, all the way down to the middle of Mother Earth. Let it go down, down, and pull you close to Earth. And connect to the middle, the center of the Earth. This is the Earth's heart chakra. Feel your heart chakra connected with Earth's heart chakra. And allow her energy to come up through that cord of light, all the way up inside your body, all the way up to the top of your head. Imagine your lowest chakra, your root chakra, opening up wide. You can even imagine it breathing in and out. We're going to assume that I'm getting the message, you are grounded with Earth. Now let's let that energy from Earth help us clear out our energy fields. Just let go of emotions, belief systems, cordings, other beings, everything in there that's in there. Any noise at all, just let it go, tell it to get out, just release. Let's draw a line of light from our heart chakra. Now maintain the one with Earth and send a second light up through, from your heart chakra, up through your body, into the ceiling, through the roof, into the sky, all the way up into outer space until you connect with the center of the sun. As you connect with the sun, you are now held perfectly in balance between the grounding of Mother Earth and the opening for higher dimensional energies to come through the sun. So you're balanced perfectly between. Okay, I'm going to connect with the group, so just give me a minute. Let me also say that I want to thank our guides for coming today and helping us, and this beautiful group that's going to communicate with us. Thank you for this sacred opportunity and the love that we're going to share tonight. If you would like to say your intention for tonight while I connect to the group, that would be great. You can say that quietly inside your heart. Welcome. Welcome, dear ones. We are absolutely delighted to be with you here in this now moment, to connect with you in this way. We greet you with unconditional love and light and support. We love you all so much. It is a grand honor, our greatest passion and calling, to volunteer, to support you, to share our love and our light with you, our energy with you. Whether you're aware of it or not, we're always doing this from the sidelines, so to speak. And so are your guides. And it is a big journey, a big collaboration among you who are in your earthly incarnations and us who are supporting from the broader perspective. We are working on this together. We are in this project together. You probably don't remember this, but we made this plan together. And so we just want you to know that as we share our broader perspective and you learn from us, we also learn from you. We learn so much. And so we get just as much out of these conversations as you do, probably more. And so we just wanted you to know how much we value you and your time and energy, and that you have had curiosity and came here this evening. This makes us so excited. So let us jump into it. Let us know how we may be of support to you. What is the first question? Yes, this was a little bit more than maybe how you might be, or she might be imagining it as just an ET being, because this was also an aspect of herself also represented in this visit, this experience from this being. This was not a, let's say, 3D visit. This happened in a different density. This was more of a consciousness connection than it was of a physical manifestation, but it was a visit nonetheless. And the visit was laden with many, let's say, much symbolism that she wanted to reflect back to herself. Does this answer your question? So we would share, and that you can share with her, if you so desire, that the color white was some of the biggest part of the symbolism, that this was tied to courage, remembering her power and courage, and her desire to express her, let's say, sourceness, her godness, into her 3D reality. So the size and the color were important in this experience. And it is okay that she experienced or only remembers fear. There are parts of herself that are not conscious that did pick up on all of the symbolism and benefited in the way that was hoped for in this co-creation. So this was not lost on her. She just may not be consciously aware of it at this moment. we are searching for the water, the fountain. We sense that there was something about the lack of flow for her, that she was experiencing a lack of flow, something related to, as you know, when you come into a 3D density, it's quite dense, quite oppressive almost. And we sense that it has something to do with this. Just acknowledgement of that experience. No, we are not what you would call artificial intelligence. And we snicker a little because there is no such thing as artificial intelligence. It's almost an oxymoron. But that's another conversation that we could have another time. Yes. So there are many ways that we could respond to this question. And so let us pick out a couple for this moment. One thing we would like to share is that the way you're asking the question assumes that there is a problem, that there is something to be overcome. And we would, from our perspective, share that we see this as not the case, that this is all a very natural progression, and that everything in your external reality, or everything that you can imagine in your mind, think of, create, daydream, worry about in the future, think about in the past, all of these are reflections of the inner you, the greater aspect of your soul, of who you are in this incarnation. And so you are projecting out of you into your reality this question about, who am I? And should I be afraid of any aspects of myself? Should I ever be afraid of what I create? How do I understand my power? Could it ever be too big? Can it be too little? Is there still relevance for me as a victim in a victim perpetrator role? Do I have any more exploring in there to do? So these are the things that are going on below the surface. And this is all very natural and part of the Human Soul Collective's process right now as well. And so from that perspective, we would say nothing is amiss, that this is all a very natural process to bring these questions and fears up to the conscious surface so that you can take a look at them and decide which parts of it you choose to resonate with and which parts of it you choose to let go. And that's the process humans are going through right now. The other way we would like to respond to this question is to share that it is sort of a non-issue from our perspective, because right now humans are going through a transition, a grand transition. We alluded to this when we said hello to you in the beginning, that we're sort of all on a giant project together of raising in vibration that not only benefits you and us, but it benefits Source, the Tao, God, whatever term you want to use, it benefits the universe and all the beings in it. And so as we go through this transition, together, and you raise in vibration, many of these, we'll call them 3D problems, fall away naturally and don't need to be solved. These come from 3D paradigms and 3D fears and 3D thought processes. And so as each individual raises in vibration to 4D, 5D, these are no longer relevant questions. Other questions come forward, and they just slide away into the background and become non-resonant with you. They are no longer your interest, your curiosity. And as you raise up even higher in vibration, you begin to create with love instead of creating with fear. And so a lot of the things that you are afraid of with regard to AI come from hanging out in a 3D construct that is built on fear. All things built come from ultimately a vibration of fear. And these constructs manage fear. And the power used in them is used to manage fear. And you're moving out of this, you're outgrowing this. And so from our perspective, what we see is that the AI that is created in a 3D reality is highly limited. And it can't do all of the things that everyone is scared that it could do, because it's being created from a place of fear, ultimately down deep below inside the human beings creating it. And all the money and energy that came forward to create it. And it is very limited in its capacity because it comes from that construct, that vibration. But if you were creating these things in 5D from a place of love, the love vibration, you are unlimited in what you can create. And these things are no longer relevant because you realize that you are creating from yourself, and all of these things are a part of you, and you are more clear about the larger aspects of who you are, and you've resolved most of these fears to a large extent, and you feel more connected to the all. And so what you create reflects that back to you. Yes, we love the spirit of this question. So let us say, are we capable of manifesting into your current physical density? Most of us are. Some of us are not, because we're too far away from that. But a great many of us could make that work with some effort. And we have chosen not to do this because it does not serve you. We instead, and this is through collaboration with you in your sleep time, and also on the soul level with the Human Soul Collective, we have co-created a scenario, a timeline for you where we will help you raise in vibration, and we will sort of meet in the middle, so to speak. It's not accurately the middle, but we don't want to do a couple of things that could disempower you by popping onto your front lawn, so to speak. For one, our energy and vibration is such that it would greatly overpower yours at the moment. This is becoming less so all the time as you all sort through your emotions and your belief systems that no longer serve you, and you are still in that process. So we don't want to overwhelm you, because when our high vibration meets a lower vibration, a natural byproduct, there are many, and one of them is that it pulls up all of your deep-seated fears that you were not consciously aware of, and can be quite triggering. And that does not feel like a great first encounter. And so we do not want to incite mass fear or overwhelm. Now, some are ready for an in-person visit, and you are more than welcome to create this for yourself. So please do not hear that you are not allowed to, or that it cannot happen, but we're just speaking in general for humans. The other thing that we want to say is that in our support of you to raise your vibration, to help you really transition into the more expanded states of who you actually are and move into higher densities. We have been playing around with you in the astral plane about how to do this best. And this has been changing frequently. Now, of course, there is no time, but let's use time for the sake of conversation tonight. This has been shifting from day to day and week to week, which has been such an exciting journey for you and us in the astral plane. And we have been hatching great plans about how you will have your first physical encounter. Will you have it with yourself? Will you have it with others? How will it go for the planet as a whole, or for nations as a whole, for families, or friend groups? How will this happen? So many plans are being made. And I can, just one moment. This was Saint Germain speaking, and so I used the word I. I can assure you that, so let us explain. Most of the beings here are E.T.s, and there are some ascended masters and angels with us tonight. And so Saint Germain is talking at the moment, and I can assure you that you that have asked the question are included in these plans. I would also like to share with you that if you would like to see concrete experiences, have concrete experiences now to validate your feelings that there is something more than you can see with your eyes, that there are bigger things in store for you, that you are moving up in vibration, this would be great practice for you right now in playing with this. Now, here's where you can get stuck. If you want something to happen, or you say, show me a sign, and you are focused on the outcome, you have a high probability of being disappointed because you are focused on the outcome. And so it is a matter of playing around with, I wonder what I can create and surprise myself with and place right in front of me to shock myself, to challenge my belief systems, to give me an experience I haven't quite had yet that will help me take the next step up my path into the next stepping stone. So it is a matter of playing like a child and not waiting and waiting and looking and trying to vibrate with the outcome, because that's a surefire way to stop this. You need to vibrate with the feeling of play as you did as a child. And there are very creative things that you can place in front of yourself. And we think you would have great fun with this. Maybe we ask a clarifying question. What is your goal? If you were able to go through your crown chakra, as you say, what would happen? What are you trying to achieve? Yes, it is our sense, from our perspective, we would offer to you that you noticing your root chakra as well as your lower three chakras is not an accident. You are picking up on where your focus needs to be, and that if you work with your lower three chakras, you will get to your outcome quicker. This may sound surprising because many, and we are not saying you specifically, but many humans sort of equate the crown chakra and the higher three chakras as being more about opening up the higher dimensional energies. And this is not inaccurate. And because you are at the transition that you are at, your energy that has been stuck or stale or stagnant in your lower 3 chakras is highly relevant right now. And a little house cleaning in these areas and shifting around energy can actually do more for you than focusing on the higher chakras. We're not saying anything is wrong with your chakras, but moving energy through them, if you were to practice visualizing moving energy through them, expanding them, contracting them, asking them to rebalance themselves, doing things that feel resonant to your lower 3 chakras, whether this is color or sounds, or just imagining, and especially feeling in your heart. This will help you do what you are trying to accomplish. Now, as we say this, we suspect that this is a surprising answer to you, so we want to ask you, have any more questions about this? We would disagree with you from our broader perspective. Now, it depends on what you want to accomplish. And of course, there's no wrong and right, and there's no wasting of energy or specific route you should be taking. So feel free to play around with all of it. It is all experiences lead to expansion. So there's nothing wasted. And from our perspective, sometimes the details have relevance, but sometimes not having the details has relevance. And sometimes you will go through phases where you need the details, and your larger aspects of you, your higher self, know this and will help you connect to them. And sometimes this is not helpful, and all of a sudden you can't remember them. And so it would be our suggestion, if this feels resonant to you, to flow a bit more with this and play around a little bit more and not build any rules about it. Don't build structure about it, and just see what happens and play around. And when you find in your playing something that feels good or feels very interesting and you have a curiosity about it, that's where you want to focus your attention. Yes, because that is your mental brain trying to put structure around something that needs no structure. There's an aspect of you that is also being harsh with yourself about what you're able to do and not do. And there's nothing you're failing at. So you don't want to incite mental activity like this that leads to self-criticism. Yes. So let us just first say we appreciate the courage that it takes to inquire in this way. So thank you. And we also want to say that we would like to remind you that on the outside is a reflection of the inside. So whatever you see on the outside can only come from the inside. So if it appears on the outside that you are winning to you, let's say you're having some form of success and abundance in some way, then that is actually happening. If you are measuring this based on comments from others, such as, wow, you really have it going on, you're doing such a great job, look at you go. This is you, again, acknowledging things that you are doing well, that you like that you are doing well, or that you like that you are doing. So again, another reflection. So this is all of you. And we completely understand that you're can have two, we won't say vibrations, but two experiences at once, that part of you feels like you are not being successful, or you're not feeling how you want to feel, and a part of you is functioning quite well. And we would say that there is much of this going on the planet at this time, and this is very intentional. And again, this is because you are receiving so much loving energy from all of the, we'll say, entities and beings outside of the planet that have come to help you at this time of transition. You are being flooded with higher dimensional energy. And this is to help you have the ability to pull up aspects of yourself, incorporate aspects, process aspects of yourself, whether it be past lives, probabilities, potentials, or in your current incarnation. You are processing all of this at once. And you're in the final stages of this, but there's still a lot coming up. It might not be quite as catastrophic feeling as it may have felt a year ago, but it is still, let's say, giving you weighing on you to some degree. And this is okay. And it can be very confusing to experience both of this at the same time. We would say that it can be helpful to do your best to not push against what you are feeling. The more you can feel your feelings, the faster you will move through this. These are just energies that want to be acknowledged, that they're coming up, popping up all over the place. And so it is your job to feel them. That's why they're coming forward. They want to be acknowledged. They want to be felt. And sometimes it can feel scary to feel them, or confusing, or you don't really know what's happening. And we would say, just breathe. Breathe in. And breathe out as you're having these feelings. Try to quiet your mind. You may even picture setting it on the table next to you, and focus yourself into your heart space and just feel the feelings. They don't need labels. You don't need to say what the feeling is, or why it's there, or where it came from. Just feel it and release. Let it go. As you breathe out, let it float away. Your mind may want to dig in there and think about that thing that happened to you that one time, that one way, with that one person. And this is a little bit of a mental trap, and we would say, quiet your mind and focus in on your feelings. If you feel something in your body while you're having these feelings, focus your attention to that aspect of your body. Give it loving light and say, I acknowledge you and I want to feel you. Please come forward so I can feel you. And again, breathe in and breathe out. And the more that you do this throughout the day, the more you will move through this energy that needs to be processed, and it will then be released and incorporated back into the higher aspects of you where it needs to be. Does this make sense? From our perspective, it is very wonderful. We want to use the word delicious, but we don't want to offend you. That anger has come forward. This is highly valuable to you. And it doesn't matter that you are angry or why you are angry. And it is the judgment that you are placing on it that is getting you stuck. If you can remove the judgments about anger And allow anger to just be energy. Allow the anger to be the parts of you that you have not talked to for a while and have not reconciled. Allow it to come forward because it does love you. That's why it's coming forward and tapping on your shoulder, because it loves you and it wants you to give it love in return. So as you sit in this anger, set aside the judgment, set aside the thinking brain, and just feel. And you may have to release through various ways. You may need to run and move your body and shake, stomp, throw things, yell. Whatever it is that you feel like doing, do those things, because that will shift the energy physically. And this is quite normal. Much anger is coming up right now and confusing many, especially people who feel that they have done a lot of personal work and that they have worked through what they consider these to be base emotions, which they are not. They're highly intelligent, highly valuable packets of energy that are here to support you. So you want to welcome them in so that they can be acknowledged and released and processed. We would also like to say to you, keep going. You are right on the cusp, right standing on the edge of the cliff, looking out over the most beautiful scenery you can see. Your toes are right at the edge and you're about to jump and soar into that beautiful vista that you're looking at. So keep going. It is our sense that you have 7 guides. We will also share that Archangel Jophiel is near you at this moment in time, supporting you, because your needs and this energy are vibrationally a match. And so you have this angel support. We suggest, as far as we feel clear, that we do not want to name your guides and instead want to invite you to practice feeling into them, that energy, and seeing if you can discern who they are. And sometimes this may feel frustrating and you don't know where to start. So we will just say, if you meditate or just get quiet in nature, or even spacing out the window, spacing off, looking out the window, any of these methods work. Maybe even exercise while you're moving your body. The point is, get into a flow state. The shower also works. Get into a flow state and just let this information come forward. And then do not argue with yourself about what you hear, even if it sounds funny, crazy, unusual, unknown. Let it be what it is. Trust yourself and practice discerning your guides. So in our searching, and let us just give you a disclaimer, we may not be the best group to ask this question to, just because we are reading from a broad range, quite a broad point of view. And what we connected with is the bedroom, something about the bed and the bedroom. We do not see at this time a theft, that we do not read that energy. It feels that it is misplaced. We are also seeing a pile of clothes, lots of clothes, a closet. We don't know if this sounds resonant. In reading the energy, absolutely sure this is the place, but this is what we are seeing. And we're mostly checking to see if it has been taken, and we do not see that energy. Yes, we love questions such as this. And the reason why is because from our broader perspective, we can see the larger aspects of you that you cannot see. And so these questions are fun for us to be able to shine a light on how beautiful and magnificent of a soul that you are and of a being that you are. You are so much bigger than you realize in your veiled earthly incarnation. So we love shining a light on that. And for you, just one moment. Yes, the channel was getting a prickly, pointing, burning sensation in the back of her neck as we were talking to you. We sense that there's some healing that needs to happen on your neck. So just relax and we will continue to speak. So when you have experiences, whether they be in your waking reality or you come away from dreams and have had bad dreams or feelings of some sort of visit by something dark or some sort of violation of some sort, all of this. And we say this with love and kindness and deep respect for you, because you are masters of creation, masters of choice, masters of separation. So we do not say this from a place of more advanced perspective, just a broader perspective, that you do not realize this, but this is you. Ghosts, negative energies you may encounter, these ultimately on a grander scale are you. Aspects of you coming forward. You're playing with yourself to understand and to acknowledge the whole of who you are. And so sometimes when people feel that their energy has been invaded or they're being attacked, it isn't as literal as the mind might suggest to you, but more, we're looking for a word, more metaphorical, in that parts of you that you are not aware of are coming into your view to give you the experience of acknowledging that you are both the light and the dark, that you are the all. You are God or source, and you are a fractal having your individual experience both at the same time, and you are the all. And the all is the all. The all is both the light and the dark. And we understand with deep respect how this humans can have scary experiences because you are veiled from the larger aspects of yourself. So this is a play that you put on for yourself to find your power and to acknowledge your oneness and to remember that you are source always, whether you're aware of it in the moment or not. You are source, so you are ultimately always safe and always in charge of what's going on in your experience, because it's coming from the inside of you. And so this is to be celebrated and not to be feared, because you are the all. And this is how it works. This is how source is. And so acknowledging your sourceness is to acknowledge your whole complete self. We also love this question. It comes from such a place of love and compassion. So thank you. The more that you can focus internally on how you feel, you will shift things for everyone else, your entire soul collective. So all the work and experiences that you have, everyone else benefits from. So as you feel love toward your other selves, we'll call them humans in your reality, and as you have love for the planet, this is also love for yourself. So focus inward on yourself and loving yourself and being self-compassionate. And this will do exactly what you hope to do. Yes, this is such a juicy question and so exciting. We also want to know the answer. We are joking with you, and we are also serious. The reason why is because as we look at the energy right now of planet Earth and all the earthlings on her, we would say that it is soon, within a couple of years. And much change is happening to all of your soul collective at this time and to Earth. And things are changing rapidly. So it could be sooner, or it might be a little bit after that. It is our sense, if anything, that if anything changes from a year or two, that it would be sooner. That's what it looks like to us. And the soul collective, the human soul collective, had made a plan, let's say a while back, about sort of how this would unfold. And it started with soft disclosure, a word we're going to use that we made up, E.T.s made up, you guys made up with us in the astral plane, where we would discuss how to unfold this to your consciousness, your waking state. And so we've all been making great plans together. And this is why you've noticed that as things have happened in the media and governments with acknowledgement of things happening with E.T.s, that no one seems surprised. And that's because we've been putting this plan in place with you of this sort of unconscious disclosure before you have conscious disclosure, again, to allow you to wade into the pool using the stairs as opposed to doing cannonball and hitting the bottom. And so this is working wonderfully, and things are shifting quickly because humans are moving up in vibration now quickly. And the more that this happens, the faster it goes. And so we can't quite give you a date, but we would say soon. And it will ultimately be decided when it is decided. We and you will be, so the larger aspects of you, your souls, we, our energies, will be watching intently together. And when it feels time, this is when it is created. We are connecting with your guides, as it is our sense that you are doing a lot of work with your guides. And so we want to make sure that your guides are guiding this answer. And so in that guidance, we would share with you that you are close. You have been doing quite a bit of internal work, and you are still in that process. And if you want to move that along, you will want to focus on happiness, focus on contentment and joy. Now, that is not to say that the work you're doing is not important, because it is, and you're doing this work well. And because you have been doing it for the extent that you have been, balancing this with joy, curiosity, excitement will sort of bring you into the home run. The home stretch. This will bring you into the home stretch that you are looking for. Does that make sense? Oh, dear one, thank you so much for asking this question. We can feel the love and the compassion that you have for Earth and humans, current humans, future humans, which is ultimately love for yourself. And we feel the love that you have for yourself. We would like to say to you that nothing is ruined, nothing is broken. To remember that you are source and all is perfect and whole in every moment. Now, that's not the play that you're playing in your human incarnation. You wanted to experience the feeling of separateness because you are a master creator who can handle deep separation on the planet at this time. So you came to play around in that experience. You came to the carnival and you picked this ride. And while you're at the carnival, it is easy to get overwhelmed. There's so many rides, so much going on. Maybe you ate too much cotton candy and now you have to throw up. All kinds of things can happen. You went to the funny house and got confused and now you can't find your way out. This is Earth right now. And this is okay. This is what you came for, because you are, again, a master. And Earth is a master. And so we want you to know that Earth is okay, Earth is whole, and Earth is fully capable of healing herself. She is going through the same process all humans are at this time of releasing and processing emotions and incorporating them into the larger aspect of herself. So planets and humans, they mirror the same process. So is the case of the universe. And so you will see this as she moves energy around. You may see this in the form of storms. The climate is heating up. There's lots of internal work going on. This is also multi-layered. It is also a reflection of your need, and we say you, we mean humans, need to understand their power and understand their love and compassion. So while she does her work, she's also reflecting to you what you're doing. And as you see choices that have been made that you are not resonating with or that make you feel sad, this is an opportunity for you to share compassion for those events, those people, the planet, and to pick something else, to imagine it going a different way, to imagine how it will be in your future. This is how the future is created, is through this choice making. The more you choose a different vibration, vibration of joy, of excitement, of hope and possibility, this is what you will create. If you focus your vibration on all that has gone wrong and sadness, you will resonate with more sadness. and more things that are not going well. And so it is okay to notice these things that have been done, or you might notice war, or maybe something happens in front of you, a crime is committed. It is okay to notice, but don't get stuck there. Give it love and move on, and imagine what you pick instead. And this is how the shift is made. And so as you are experiencing this deep separation in your human incarnation, all of you, this includes being separate from the planet and feeling separate from yourself. This is what deep separation is about. And this is the environment, so to speak, of 3D reality. And you're outgrowing this and moving up in your vibration. It no longer suits you. So this is why you don't like this, and you get sad and you reach for something better. And so it is helpful when you notice this to remember that this is you, that you are all one, and you are God or source, and everything is okay, and you are the true aspect of who you are is completely safe, and that you are having this experience to play around with your power and your self-love and your self-compassion, and to expand from this experience. So focus on that part of it, as opposed to maybe the feelings of things cannot be reversed and the doom and desperation of breaking something. Please remember that, and if this is new information, then please remember, or please know and remember, that you are infinite, and you have infinite possibilities, or timelines, as you like to call them. And so there are timelines where these things did not happen. And there are timelines where worse things happened. And so if you see something that you do not like, remember there is a timeline where that did not happen and a different choice was made. All of these things are part of you. All of them have happened. And so it's all okay. All of the light and all of the dark is inside of you all the time. And it is your job to come to this human incarnation and play around. But as you break things, nothing's permanently broken. So as you see things that have happened to the planet, know that that is we don't like the word simulation, but that is an experience of your incarnation. And it is not really what's going on the grander scale, if that makes sense. Yes, you were completely on the right track. So first, let us say, focus on yourself first. Feel the feelings that you're having about this situation, whatever they are, and they may change from day to day, but they will draw out feelings that have been lying quietly inside of you. This is why you're having this experience in your reality, because some aspects of you needed to come forward that are triggered by this experience. And we don't regret saying that, but we don't want to confuse you. We don't want you to think that tragedy has to happen so that you can feel certain feelings, or others must suffer so you can feel certain feelings. That is not what we're saying. We're saying that the human soul collective is creating together, co-collaborating experiences to experience that they wanted to experience so they could expand. That's all we were trying to say with that. So feel your feelings about this as they arise from moment to moment. And they may keep, one feeling may keep coming back over and over, and that's okay. Just keep feeling it and breathing through it. And as you do this, you will find a stronger sense of stability and well-being. And it's from that space that you want to consider if there's anything you can do for others in your community, from that sense of feeling loved and safe and stable and grounded. And that's where the good ideas come to you. And maybe you won't receive any ideas about doing anything. Maybe your work is internal and that you're going to help the situation through that route by the larger aspects of you connecting as a whole with other souls, as you focus more inward. So either or both are possible. It just depends on what feels exciting to you in the moment. If it feels like you need to help, but it feels like labor, it feels sort of either inconvenient or difficult, or it's hard, or you meet lots of obstacles, from our broader perspective, we would say, stop what you're doing and lay that down and walk away. That is not where your energy needs to be applied. That's a sign to you that that's not where the energy needs to flow. However, if you think of something to do that would help your community and you're so excited and it came together quickly and easily and you have lots of energy for it, then keep going. That's how you know, all of you, that's how you know which direction to head as you make choices in your moment to moment, is through excitement, through how you feel. Now, that's not to say avoid all negative feelings, or if something is difficult, don't ever do it. We're just saying that as a whole, we have seen that humans and their desire to help and share love and self-compassion at this time can initiate some deeper programming that are related to shoulds, you should type statements that are actually quite self-critical. And it's this vibration that is attracting all the obstacles. And so it is feedback to you that the vibration you are sharing is not working for you. So you need to shift your vibration. And you can do that through excitement. We love this question. We have never been asked this question. And no, we do not have a government. And soon you will not either. We say this with smiles on our faces. We say that jokingly. Some of us don't even have bodies. And we want to say to you that this is part of you moving out of the 3D reality that you've been resonant with but are no longer resonant with. As you move up toward a 5D reality and sustain that vibration for longer and longer, you will begin to see that you do not need this type of structure, and that you will instead feel more resonant with a loose structure, so to speak, of volunteering for people who, at their highest excitement, want to provide for others in certain ways, and everyone's needs will get met in this way. And so humans might say, but without the government, who would fix the roads? And we would say, you might not need roads soon, wink, wink. And we would also say that someone someone will want to do something related to this because it's interesting to them. Maybe it is a 13-year-old person who is interested in creating a new type of road, and that's who does that job. So you're headed to a beautiful place where action is taken based on love and desire. And these structures that are tied to manage fear through the use of power and separation and control and manipulation, you are outgrowing. And that's why they are imploding, because you are not resonant with them anymore. And you don't need to work at, oh my gosh, what's going to replace them? This will happen naturally. As you vibrate at a higher level, those solutions come to you naturally. We love this. And no, they don't. Those of us that use what we would call a spaceship, this again, back to earlier, the discussion of when, let's call it technology, we call it consciousness. Everything is consciousness. So when using consciousness to create a tool from a vibration of love and service, creates a tool that is in alignment with the beings who created it and who need it and who use it. And so some humans have picked up on this vibration to some extent and have been talking about biological ships that are an extension of the body, extension of light bodies and things like that. And that's because you're picking up on this principle. That's a little bit too simplistic of view of what's going on. But those of us who do have, let's call them crafts, who transport our bodies, we are doing this with intention from our heart. And we are working with consciousness in the form of a tool to do this in a love vibration. It is a co-collaboration among us and the consciousness that is the tool. Does this answer your question? It would be created in a reality where there aren't people, beings, who have the desire to take something from another, because at that level of vibration, beings are aware of their oneness and their sourceness, their godness, and they understand that all is them and them are all. So there is no concept of separation, therefore no need to take, only to share and enjoy and commune. This is a clever co-collaboration among some beings and human souls. And this does not have any sort of negative or nefarious purpose. And it is triggering. It is triggering fear in those who want to resolve fear about having contact with E.T.s, which is really code for having contact with the larger aspects of self. Again, because all is you, we reflect you back to you, and we're also actually beings. Both are happening at the same time. And so this is serving, for those that are aware of this, this is serving as a catalyst to take some time to consider how it would feel to become galactic citizens? And what would one encounter? And would we like it or not? And what about our power? Would we remain sovereign beings? Would we be enslaved? Would people or beings do things to us that we wouldn't know about or wouldn't like? All of the fear and speculation, it is bringing that to the surface. That is our understanding of what that is. And that it is actually a craft, a helpful being's craft. No, there is, we do not have a name for them because they do not, in our broader perspective, use a name. And their planet is not anywhere close to your density. So you would not, they would not be from somewhere in your reality. Well, what we have to say, thank you for asking this question, because the question is profound and the answer may feel mundane, may sound boring, which is to believe in oneself and to share love with self. It is our understanding from our perspective that it would be, if you so choose, helpful to you, if this feels resonant to you, to really spend time, we're talking to the individual, to really spend time reflecting on what one has to be appreciative of, what one has accomplished, how marvelous the things are that is in this person's reality that this person created. Because this person is such a beautiful being and has created so much beauty in their external reality, which is a reflection of who they are. And spending time each day taking that in, the marvelous work that has been created, would serve this individual quite well. And then we would say for the group that this is what is the saying? What's the channel does not know, something about what is good for one is good for the many. We would say to all of you, the more you can focus on self-love, which includes self-compassion, the not only happier you will be, but the more doors you will open for yourself, which we don't mean actual doors, but we mean metaphorically doors that will allow you to understand who you are at a deeper level and therefore create more of what you want to create. The path to that is love. And one of the hardest loves to share that we have learned from you masters of separation is love of self. When you're in a deep density and a very separate experience, self-love is the last love to master. But you are up to the challenge because you are masters. You can do this. You are teaching the universe how to do this. And you're teaching other universes how to do this. And so you are already highly successful. And we say, apply it as thick as you can. Spend as much of your time practicing self-love as you are capable of. And this will open up the next step or path that you desire. We would just like to say it is a profound honor to be with you this evening, having this conversation. From our perspective, each of you are such bright lights. If we had eyes and we were looking at you on the planet, we could see your bright lights. We see this in energy, of course, but that's how you are. You are bright lights, and you're lighting up for all around you. This is your purpose, to just be in your incarnation and be you, and you serve as a beacon of light to all that is around you. We can say this confidently to each of you on this call. So thank you for being the beautiful lights that you are, and teaching us so much, and allowing us to chase our highest excitement, which is to share unconditional love and support with each one of you. We will say goodbye now. Thank you.